Hey everyone, it's Branoc here from Team Vault, and I'm going to be recording a video with Bloodbraid Elves today. I've been toying around with lots of Jason the Mind Sculptor decks in Modern since it's been unbanned, and I've decided to go to the other side of the spectrum here, trying out our good friend Bloodbraid Elf. And as you may or may not be aware, Bloodbraid Elf has importantly got the creature type Elf, as does all the other creatures in my deck. Now, I've played elves a fair amount in the past, and primarily been favouring builds with Shaman of the Pack, which really rewards you from having a critical mass of elves, as it deals lots of damage to your opponent if you have lots of elves in play. Traditionally, the builds have been green-black, or maybe green-black splashing white for sideboard cards, or alternatively playing a white splash for Vizier of Remedies and Devoted Druid, but this is a more resilient build where you're just trying to get a critical mass of elves and beat down, which Bloodbraid Elf helps with quite effectively with it being a 2-for-1. You still have the power of Collected Company, which will get you 2 of your elves, and the numbers haven't really changed very much from the original builds because Bloodbraid Elf is replacing the Court of Callings in the deck. Rounding out the rest of the deck, we have Elvish Archerd, who quite simply can make a ridiculous amount of mana in this deck. Quite often I tap Elvish Archerd for 4, 6, 10 mana, and this mana is most usefully deployed in giving all of your elves +3/+3 and trample with Azuri. Sometimes you regenerate your elves to keep them alive, but most of the time you just kill your opponents. And powering all this out, we've got a suite of 10 mana elves. We've got 4 Llanowar elves, 4 Elvish Mystic, and 2 Elves of Deep Shadow, which also give you a couple of extra black sources. And we also have the most broken part of the deck in the Heritage Druid and Nettle Sentinel combo, which lets you use your elves the turn you put them into play, because Heritage Druid doesn't care about summoning sickness, in order to make mana off your elves. And then Nettle Sentinel rewards you from playing multiple in a turn, as it simply untaps and lets you reactivate your Heritage Druids. Now, the mana base is pretty straightforward. We've got Cavern of Souls, because all of our creatures are elves, and having things uncounterable is good. This also provides both red and black for your Shamans and Bloodbraid Elves. Giltleaf Palace is a pain-free dual land, and then your sort of traditional, very slim Fetch Shock mana base with a little free value here from this Pendlehaven. Moving over to the sideboard, we have Playset of Thoughtseize to try and disrupt some combo decks, things like that. A few fatal pushes when we have to kill our opponent's creatures, such as an Infect deck or something like Storm, which combos off much more efficiently with creatures. We have Reclamation Sage for artifact and enchantment decks. Good for killing things like Chalice of the Void or Cranial Platings out of Affinity, and random enchantments like Blood Moon, all that sort of fun stuff. We've got Lead the Stampede, which helps us in the sort of grindier control and green-black mid-range matchups. Just on average, it's going to draw you, I think, 3.2 cards. With 37 creatures, it's something in the region of just over 3 cards, which makes it quite powerful when it's easy to power out lots of mana. We have a Choke to try and irritate the blue control decks, of which there's plenty around with Jason the Mind Sculptor being let loose. Another grindy card in Evolutionary Leap, which is just super effective against removal. And then against Affinity and Boggles and Lantern Control, we have Fracturing Gust, which does quite a lot of work. So hopefully Bloodbraid Elf reinvigorates this archetype, which I've always felt not quite been good enough to take to the top tier of tournaments. Hopefully I'm proved wrong, and you'll see me rocking this deck in Madrid. I'm going to jump into the league and catch me in the next video.